All right, welcome everyone to the Los Angeles County Department of Health Services Patient Family Partnership Hub. This is our monthly community conversation to really bring members of the community together and have a chance to connect. For today's session, we'll be talking about the upcoming Creating Connections for Equity event coming up on June 13th. At the Rancho Los Amigos Rehabilitation Center auditorium. So we're going to talk about that event and how patients and family caregivers and community members can really effectively partner and be immersed in the event. So I'm really excited about that event and about this conversation today. We'll also share this with all other patients and families, patient family advisors who will be attending that event in order to help them prepare as well. So appreciate you taking the time to join us today. I know we have a smaller group, so hopefully a few more folks join, but if not, we may not use our whole hour together, give everybody a few minutes back in their day. So we are recording, and we also have live transcript available. You can do that by selecting the CC button on your Zoom bar. You will also need to choose your preferred language. We have Spanish interpretation on for today's meeting. But in order to hear the interpreter, you will need to select your language by clicking the interpretation button on your Zoom bar and selecting either English or Spanish. So we'll give everyone a chance to do that. Now I have some more Zoom information here on the screen. Excuse me. Again, if you would like to be on camera, great. If not, that's okay too. We also have the mute button. So if you have some background noise, you can mute yourself, but please feel free to come off mute and join the conversation at any time, ask questions, and share a little bit with our group today. And then we have a smaller group, so I'm not concerned about folks talking over each other, but if you would like to jump into the conversation, you can use the raise hand button by clicking the reactions button on your toolbar. So lots of cool Zoom buttons to help you fully participate in today's meeting. And then also the chat, please utilize it. If you have any questions that come up, you can put those in the chat. If you would like to message me directly or Mike or anybody, you can do so by clicking the person's name that you would like to chat. So if you have a private question or need some clarification, you can do that too. But I also, again, wanted to point out that we have interpretation for today's session. And in order to hear either in English or Spanish, you will need to select interpretation on your Zoom toolbar. If you're on a phone Zoom app or an iPad, I think you'll need to scroll over to be able to see all of the Zoom options to then click interpretation. And please select your language, either English or Spanish. All right. So our agenda for today's meeting, first of all, welcome again, everyone. We'll do some quick introductions, and then the majority of our time will be focused on the Creating Connections for Equity event that you are all invited to, that's taking place on June 13th. So we'll talk a lot more about that, give you kind of a rundown for the day and who will be there. And then we'll wrap up with your role as a patient family partner and your role in potentially attending this event if you're interested and available, and just really talk through kind of how you can be effective as a patient and family caregiver at this event. All right. At this time, I'd like to pass it on and welcome Mike Renteria to kind of level set us in Los Angeles County Department of Health Services vision, mission, values, and goals. So Mike.
Thank you, Lindsay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Patient and Family Partnership Hub community conversation. Thank you so much for taking time from your day and joining us today. Please know that we appreciate and value your time tremendously and that you are helping shape healthcare services for all our LA County community. Welcome everyone. Bienvenidos a todos. In a minute, we'll do introductions. In addition to our PFCC partners, joining us today is Alex, who will be helping us today by simultaneously translating our conversation in Spanish, and vice versa, will be helping our Spanish-speaking patient family advisors join in our conversation. Excuse me. My name is Miguel Renteria. I go by Mike, and I'm the Director of Patient Experience for the Department of Health Services. My work evolves on patient experience and supporting our culture of patient-family engagement across our health system. What you see here is an overview of our vision, mission, and goals. Our mission is to advance the health of our patients and our communities by providing extraordinary care. Our goals range from transforming our system to provide cost-effective care of the whole patient across the continuum, optimize clinical quality and patient experience, to have a high-performing workforce, and ensure financial viability in support of our vision. Today, we're moving towards our mission by advancing on our strategic goal of providing high-quality care and patient experience through engaging your voice to help us in our work. Your voice, your views, and insights are incredibly important to our work. So thank you again for taking time off your day and joining us here this morning. We are looking forward to having a rich conversation today, and I will pass it back to Lindsay, who will be helping us facilitate our conversation. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mike. I appreciate, reorienting us to the vision, mission, values, and goals of DHS. I think it's really helpful to keep that in mind as we continue to move forward with our discussion today. So thank you. And we haven't reintroduced our organization in a while, so I just wanted to provide some additional context for those who might be new to who PFCC Partners is and how we partner with DHS to support patient family engaged care for all of the health centers and hospitals. So we know, and some of you may be familiar with healthcare, it's complex. Its systems are sometimes really difficult to navigate. And what we've learned over the years is those systems are even more difficult to change. And I know right now in the South and, the Southeast region of the country, it is cicada season. So I'm not sure if you know about cicadas, but they are these big grasshopper looking things. They look terrifying. I thankfully haven't been able to come across them in my lifetime, but what I learned is that they stay underground for 17 years. And then after that 17th year, they come out of the ground and they wreak havoc on people, is what it seems like. So what I like to do is compare, the length that change takes in healthcare to a cicada's lifespan, because it takes a long time. There are systems, there are policies that need to be changed within those systems, and it makes it difficult. But what we have found is that through patient family engaged care, patient family engagement, really understanding the perspective of patients and family caregivers makes that change a little more quick and a little easier for our healthcare teams, because they know that the changes that they're moving forward with are directly informed by the people that those changes will be impacting. So our organization, PFCC Partners, we work with organizations like LA County Department of Health Services to open spaces within the system for all of you, for patients and family caregivers, to drive improvements, to really share your perspectives, your insights, and your experiences about the improvements that you would like to see within the healthcare environment. And then we work directly with healthcare staff to identify those spaces in which you can have that impact using your experience. And so what do we do with all of these open spaces? Well, we also facilitate a network of patient family advisors, the PFA network, that fills those spaces with impactful people, stories, and insights, which all of you have. So as members of the LA County Department of Health Services Patient Family Partnership Hub, you also have access to everything that the PFA network has to offer. But being part of the hub ensures that you are receiving information and engagement opportunities and places to really share your experience that are relevant to the care that you've received within LA County. So really exciting. And I have asked Brittany Jackson to join us today. Brittany Jackson is our new Community Connections Coordinator who facilitates the PFA network. And you'll probably see her name and her face in these monthly meetings and, sharing opportunities from LA County. So Brittany, do you want to just take a moment to introduce yourself and share a little about your role?
Sure. Thank you, Lindsay. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. I, as Lindsay said, am PFCC Partners' new Community Connection Coordinator, and I will be overseeing the PFA network. So many patient and family partners. So I'm really excited to get to be in meetings like this where I get to meet all of you and find out what's going on out in the community, so that we can, as the slide says, help to fill the space and provide education and skills development and all of those things. So I'm very excited to be here and looking forward to connecting with you all. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Brittany, for joining. Appreciate you being here. So that's a little bit about our organization and how we work directly with DHS to, again, support patient family engaged care and bring all of you into those spaces that are really excited to hear your perspectives about the care you've received within LA County. This is PFCC Partners' mission, vision, and values, very aligned with DHS's as well, especially around inclusion and really creating a belonging for all people and all communities to share their lived experience in order to inform healthcare improvement. All right, so that's a little bit about us. Now I wanted to do some round robin introductions. We have a small enough group, so can just kind of go around our virtual room here. Would love to know your name, where you're calling in from within LA County, and then maybe something you're looking forward to this summer. I realized I never said who I am and where I'm from. I'm Lindsay Galley. I'm actually calling in from Sacramento, California, up north, but our office is located in Long Beach, California. And something I'm looking forward to this summer is my son plays baseball, and we have a ton of baseball ahead of us. We have Tournament of Champions, we have All Stars, we have baseball, baseball, baseball. So I'm looking forward to a lot more of that. It's always fun. Yeah, Kiana, I see your hand is raised. Thanks for joining.
Hello, thank you. I'm Kayana. I am in Gardena. And this summer I just look for lots of water. Like we want to be a hotel with a nice pool, the
Yeah.
beach, wherever we can get nice water and hot sun.
I love
Yeah.
that, Kayana. I am right there with you.
Yeah, I have a 18-month-old son, so I'm just looking forward to him just enjoying summertime, and hopefully he does a lot of sports because he's into it.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah.
It makes life a lot of fun, those sports too, and those kids. So that's awesome. And I'm right there with you. I need some water in my life this summer. It gives me peace, which we all need. Thanks, Kayana. And Vicky?
My name is Vicky Jacobs. I'm a member of the PFACT at Los Angeles General Hospital, and I'm also a member of the EDA committee. I'm also a patient, and I'm also an advocate on behalf of my husband. And sometimes being an advocate for family members is a challenge within itself. It's very difficult because you have to remember that this person is somebody that you care about, and certain things about a person when they get sick, it doesn't change them. But the medical journey for you to advocate for them, you have to ignore it, and you have to constantly be there for them to support them, even through their difficult times. And I hope by having these committees and having these connections that we can approve healthcare for all.
Thank you so much, Vicky. I really appreciate you sharing a little bit more about yourself and your journey. And I agree, it is a journey. And it's a journey to figure out those systems and, you know, where you fit in. But I so appreciate your message, and thank you for being with us today. Is there anything you're looking forward to this summer?
Well, I really haven't thought about it. I think I'm gonna go back east to visit one of my girlfriends that I haven't seen in a long time.
Oh,
But the thing is this, my husband's health is one challenge after another, so I may have to postpone it.
yeah. I hear you. Well, I hope you get to have a little fun and enjoyment this summer. And we definitely understand life can sometimes get in the way of that. But
Absolutely.
yeah, awesome. Thank you, Vicky.
You're welcome.
And Mike and Brittany, I know you already introduced yourself, but wanted to give you a chance to share anything you're looking forward to this summer.
Sure. Mike, I'll jump in first. So I am looking forward to, we're actually supposed to be going to Florida in the next like couple of weeks for like a weekend trip. And so we're going to go with my parents. And so it'll just be a nice little getaway. My daughter will be turning 15, and then my dad is having one of those milestone birthdays. He'll be 70. And their birthdays are a few days apart at the beginning of June. So looking forward to that. And yes, beach and sun. So
Yes.
I, with you, Kayana and Lindsay, I cannot wait to just get a little bit of a getaway.
I love that. That's awesome. Thanks, Brittany. And my son's birthday is June 1st too. So I'm looking forward to having a 12-year-old.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Brittany. I think looking forward to this summer, just probably some summer grilling, make carne asada, barbecue. You know, just being outside and cooking. I think it's there are always good times around good food. So
Oh yeah.
looking forward to a lot of grilling this summer.
Yeah. I like that. We've been talking a lot about how food really brings people together,
Mhm.
brings community together. And there was, I think it was Naomi on our team. She shared a video of an urban gardener in LA County. So we've been trying to connect with him to see if we can maybe have him join one of these talks, share the work he's doing, learn more. But it was all about bringing people together around, you know, healthy food and all
Yep.
of that. So I love that. Very cool. And we'll wait for our invite for the carne asada.
Absolutely, anytime.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone. Appreciate getting to know each of you a little bit more. Okay, so for the next 10 or 15 minutes, I'm just going to talk a little bit more about the event we have coming up in June. So this event is all about creating connections for equity. It's taking place in person on June 13th from 10 a.m. to 2:30. And we'll be at the Rancho Los Amigos Rehabilitation Center. They have a wonderful auditorium there. And, you know, we're really just looking forward to bringing everyone together around the concept of understanding and identifying the connections we all have within our communities in order to move forward and create a really equitable healthcare system within DHS. And Vicki, I know you had shared you're a member of the EDIA committee, which is so exciting. We will be joined by Danielle Gott, who's the director of EDIA at LA County, and then many of and I always get their titles wrong, Chief equity engagement officers, or the other way around?
It was right.
Equity
Thank you.
engagement officers,
Yep.
yes, all across LA County. So big focus on some of the work that you're already involved in, Vicki. So I'm really excited to make that connection. And so who will be there? A lot of these faces that you can see on the screen will be there. These are patient family engagement champions from across the health centers and hospitals within LA County. And a lot of these individuals have been a big part in developing and sustaining the patient family advisory councils at LA General Hospital, Vicki, as you mentioned. I think Leslie's in there somewhere. And all of the health centers that are hosting patient family advisory councils. And if you aren't aware, patient family advisory councils are local committees of patients, family caregivers, and health center or hospital staff who come together typically once a month, sometimes every other month, to discuss priorities for that hospital or health center. And the advisory council is really there to share the lived experience, the patient and family caregiver perspective, to inform some of those priorities and goals that each of those health centers and hospitals have. So definitely a lot of patient family engagement champions will be present. We'll also have leadership present at this event. We will be at the Rancho Los Amigos Rehabilitation Center. So looking to connect with the CEO there to join us in the conversation and talk a little bit about the work they do there. I had mentioned EDIA staff. And so EDIA is Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Anti-Racism. We will have a whole section in the afternoon dedicated to EDIA at LA County, but really all around this concept of being able to understand ourselves so we can move forward and create deeper, stronger connections with the people around us and our communities. I will be there. Some of the PFCC partners staff will be there. Mike will be there. Who else am I missing, Mike? I'm trying to go through the list in my head.
Yeah, no, I think, Lindsay, we're really trying to engage, a diverse group of our leadership from across our health system there. Like Lindsay mentioned, inviting our patient family engagement champions from our hospitals, as well as our 8 health center groups across the health system, engaging, different folks from clinical aspects as well, clinical leaders as well. So we're really trying to get a group of, crossing our fingers, 40 to 50 individuals to join us that day to really have a rich discussion on creating, connections, across equity. And I think, coming away there, just kind of coming away with a few things. I think ultimately they're just really learning about, cultural humility, right? And really kind of beginning to practice and seeing what that looks like. We live in the county of Los Angeles, which is, probably one of the most diverse communities in the world, and really approaching this conversation that every day we're learning, of others, cultures, and even our own, and then kind of coming into that room or into that mindset that, every day we're going to get a little bit better by learning a little bit more and doing a little bit more. So yeah, absolutely looking forward to the event next month, and we hope that everyone here is able to join us.
Yeah, well said, Mike. Thank you. And I've sent out flyers for the event with the registration, but we'll definitely share that and follow up again. And we have resources available. Stipends are available to any patients, family caregivers, or community members that are attending to support your participation in getting to the event and taking a few hours out of your day to join us for this really impactful event. So looking forward to seeing everyone there. The agenda and kind of what the day will look like is we'll do some welcome and introductions. You'll hear from leaders within LA County. And then the morning portion will be focused on patient family engagement for equity. So at PFCC partners, we really recognize that we can't get to a place of equity without hearing or addressing the insights from people who are experiencing those inequities. And through that, we refer to that as patient-family engagement. So engaging patients, engaging family caregivers who are experiencing inequities or disparities to get to a place of equity and addressing those. We will do a community connectors activity to really see and kind of brainstorm where people are connected in the community and where are people connected with each other through those communities. So just doing some community building and really creating a community among staff, leadership, patients, family caregivers through this event. We will then do a patient family partner panel. So hearing from a few patients and family caregivers within LA County who will share the ways in which they're connected to the community, start to have that discussion around cultural humility and sharing more information about their cultures and how their cultures receive care within LA County to just broaden all of our perspectives on this topic. We will have lunch available, and then, as I mentioned, the afternoon will be facilitated by Danielle Gott, the Director of Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Anti-Racism. So she'll have some activities for us, but a lot of level setting around what do we mean by equity, diversity, inclusion, and anti-racism, and then some activities to really look at ourselves and the way we approach the world in order to be able to show up for others more effectively. And then, as always, we'll wrap up with a call to action. We're not just going to leave this event in the past and move forward and never think about it again. We'll talk through and brainstorm, how can we continue this progress forward and how can we continue to stay connected around this topic. So it'll go by so fast. I know it. But hopefully the timing works for everyone. I know I've heard LA County traffic can be a little crazy. So hopefully we miss the morning rush and miss the afternoon rush hour too, and still give us plenty of time to have a really impactful connection event. Looking forward to it. All right, and so what would your role as a patient or family caregiver be in joining this event? Well, your role would be a patient-family partner. And what we mean by that, and there are a lot of other terms for patient-family partner. There's patient-family advisor, patient partner. You may just refer to yourself as a patient or a family caregiver or a mom or a dad. But what we really mean by all of that is a person using their lived experience to improve health together. And that would be your role, and that is all you need to be a big part of this event is your lived experience in healthcare, and an openness to learn and share with leaders, with staff, with other patient family partners. That's really all you need. But I have a few other tips as well, just to help you really immerse yourself in the event and engage with impact. These are the core competencies of effective partners. These were developed by patient family partners for patient family partners. And they're really a set of competencies or skills that help people move from their personal lived experience in healthcare to a place where they have the opportunity to be engaged and really have an impact in the conversations that they're having and the places that they're showing up. I'll stop there. Vicky, did I see your hand raised? Did you have a question? Yeah, go ahead.
For me, people of color, I'm gonna use LA General because that's the hospital that I go to, would not represent it. I don't know why. I ask a few questions in the ETA, meaning we have one man in the group, and I don't see very many men. Matter of fact, I don't see any men of color coming for treatment. Um, what was told to me by the gentleman is, I don't know if this is all men in general. If they don't feel sick, they don't seek medical help. I don't know if that's just something with men. But I know that at LA General, it's the geographic of the location. I totally understand that, but I know that they're one of the largest trauma facilities in Southern California. And so trauma comes their way all the time. And when I do see African American seeking treatment, it's because they're so sick that they have to come because they don't feel well. And equity for people of color is not being represented. I don't know if it's because it's an LA County facility, and maybe because I know that people that are in a different financial situation go to better quality hospitals.
Mhm.
I understand that. But I've had so many challenges because I am in an interracial marriage,
Mhm.
and I have a lot of difficulties navigating on his behalf, because first and foremost, they're looking at the color of my skin,
Mhm.
and then I get a different reaction. At first it bothered me. Yes, it did. But I have to remember that we need to learn the differences of all of us.
Right. Yeah.
And we all need to be re-educated on how to make our medical journeys more easier and more willing to understand the different challenges that we go through. Yes, I need to know more about the demographic culture of the type of people that come to the hospital in which I go to, because I feel like, no, I do have the respect in the PPAC and as well as in the EDA committees. I have that respect, but when it comes down to patients that look different than me, I feel this huge disconnect, and I really don't like using the word discrimination. I don't like using it. I really don't. I really don't, because if I can help you with something, it doesn't make any difference what color your skin is or where you came from. It's because I'm a very compassionate and an empathetic person. So that bothers me a lot, but I don't let it stop me from voicing my opinion
Mhm.
on things that need to be changed. But I know that for the African American community, we have to go way deeper.
Mhm.
I totally get that. And there's so many layers that need to be addressed. So that's something within itself. And
Yeah.
I have to keep it on myself because other people don't go through these
Mhm.
same challenges. It's people of color.
Mhm.
We deal with this all the time. And which is not.
Mhm. Thank you, Vicky. Sorry, I cut off there right at the end, but I excuse me. I believe I got most of your message, and I I so appreciate that. And that is exactly part of the reason why we're having this event. And I think also why there is this stronger effort around EDIA within all of LA County Department of Health Services. So I do hope that you can join us on June 13th and share some of your
Sí, gracias, aquí
perspectives and
estoy.
thoughts with the staff there.
I will
And
try my
sorry,
best.
okay, great. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate the empathy that you bring to this work too, and yeah, your overall message. I just wanted to pause for a moment. Maria, were you able to access interpretation? Is that all working?
She is on the line. She said, yes, this is your interpreter.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me. And Vicky, you know what? The meat of your message there, it directly relates to these core competencies too, which is why I appreciate it so much, is because so these start from the bottom with establishing partnerships. And so when you say, you know, you're an empathetic person, you're here to help other people, that's really creating an invitation to create partnerships with, you know, other patients who are going through a challenging journey, or other family caregivers as well who are going through those journeys as well. But then also opening the door to be able to partner with staff and leadership to share your experiences and say, hey, I am a partner. I am in this with you. How can we improve these things together? So I really, really appreciate that. A few of these other competencies may come into play and support you in your role in being able to share your experiences in a really impactful way. The next one is constructive collaboration. We know that we're not going to have the same opinions and ideas and perspectives as every person. So constructive collaboration means that when we're having conversations and we're sharing our ideas that may be different, or we don't agree with somebody else's idea, it's okay to have that kind of negotiation and finding the best parts of all of those ideas to create something really beneficial to all patients and family caregivers together. The important part of constructive collaboration is that everyone's voice and perspectives are represented in decisions that we come to within healthcare improvement and improving processes and care delivery for all patients. There's also solution focused. And so I know many of us haven't had the best experiences in healthcare, or maybe you have. Maybe you've had some really good experiences, and that's why you're showing up here today, is because you want to be sure that other patients and family caregivers have really good experiences just like you did. But if you didn't have so good of experiences, maybe you're showing up here to make sure that other patients and family caregivers have a better experience than you did. And the point of this skill right here, solution focused, is really narrowing in on what are some of the solutions? How can we improve the experience that you had in order to create solutions that will work for all patients and family caregivers? So instead of, you know, restating challenges and really tough experience, starting to move forward and thinking about, okay, this is something I went through, and here are 3 things that would have made it better. That's really focusing on those solutions moving forward. At the core of these competencies is having a representative voice. Excuse me, my voice is going. Having a representative voice. So, and again, I see some new folks on. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you taking the time. We are talking about the upcoming event, Creating Connections for Equity, on June 13th. And just going through some these core competencies or skills that can help you be a really impactful partner within this event. And so the representative voice, I think, is really core because unfortunately, we're not able to bring all, however many patients there are within LA County to this event. So you being able to be there and be present is an incredible opportunity. But the key is to really think broadly about yourself, your experience, and the community that you represent in being in these places. And really, understanding those connections to your community, understanding the experiences that they have, just like Vicki, you were saying, for people of color, and understanding those instances of, I know you didn't like discrimination. I forgot the word that you used, but just understanding those experiences that your communities are having so you can represent them in opportunities like this upcoming event in June. And then at the core, at the top, I mean, is teachable spirit. And this is just being open to everything that you can learn from other patients, other family caregivers and their experiences, and also staff and leadership and our EDIA staff, or equity, diversity, inclusion, and anti-racism staff. They have such a wealth of knowledge that they get to share with us. So just being open to everything that we get to learn together. So those are just a few tips on if you are able to attend the event in June that could really help you, but also in other spaces and other conversations that you're having with maybe DHS leadership or staff at any point in your partnership on the hub or in other DHS activities. These can really come in handy. And then the last thing I wanted to wrap up with, and I'm actually going to open this template because I'd love to share it with you all and follow up as well. I gotta see if I can find it. There it is. Can you see the My Story template on my screen? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mike. This is a template to really help kind of craft your own personal experiences in a way that also establishes partnerships, like I had shared in the core competencies just a moment ago. So to walk through this template, and this is something you can use to just kind of jot down a few notes for yourself. So at the event in June, when you're introducing yourself to someone new, you have some of these bullet points ready to go so they can understand your role and your perspective just a little bit better. So first, of course, is your name and your role in healthcare. So I'm Lindsay Galley, I'm a patient. Your relevant personal health experiences, and this is just anything that you're comfortable sharing here. So for me, I'm Lindsay Galley. I'm a patient. In 2016, I was diagnosed with a blood clotting disorder. Spent about 9 days in the hospital where I was diagnosed with blood clots in my lungs and my legs, and really learned a lot about communication in healthcare through those 9 days in my journey afterwards. And then the purpose, your purpose. Why do you choose to use your lived experiences to support healthcare improvements? And how do you find that purpose in your partnerships with healthcare? So for me, I had mentioned, communication was something really important in this event, or in my own experiences. And that's why I choose to use my lived experiences to support healthcare improvement, is because I think communication and effective communication is essential to receiving the type of care that we all deserve. And I have seen, when communication doesn't go as planned, and can really impact someone's entire healthcare journey when they don't have effective communication. And then how have you used your personal experience in healthcare to achieve change in collaboration with healthcare professionals? This is just an add-on. I know all of us haven't had the opportunity to utilize our lived experiences. within these with healthcare professionals. So you could even say, you know, this is my first time being amongst healthcare professionals and utilizing my lived experience in a way that I can really have an impact on the change I want to see in healthcare. And then to wrap up, just really sinking back into establishing partnerships. So letting the audience know, or not the audience, but anybody that you're talking to know that you share your experiences because you want to offer yourself as a resource to create a solution to healthcare challenges. So really opening that invitation and saying, I'm here, you know, call on me when you have a question about my specific experience. I'd love to share more of my ideas about how we can improve healthcare communication. So really opening the door that's relevant to your own lived experience. So this is, again, just a resource if you want to use it just to help you prepare kind of things that you would like to share about yourself. I will share this in follow-up, and just welcome you to use it if you would like. Because stories are powerful, and I know each of you have a story and an experience to share, and it takes time. You know, the journey of telling your story of your healthcare experience is almost as lengthy as the journey of your healthcare experience itself, because when we start to share our stories, you know, in the beginning, after I was diagnosed with my blood clotting disorders, I was like just trying to organize all the pieces and everything that happened. And, you know, 9 days in a hospital is a lot, and all of those days kind of blurred together. So I started just sharing it with my friends and my family, just to start to piece together what that experience was that I went through. And then, you know, after I've pieced my experiences together, I have a good understanding of, you know, all of those instances that happen. I started to share my story with other patients and family caregivers. And with that, I was able to create connections and learn more about other people and find a community of people with blood clotting disorders who supported each other. So, you know, later on in our story sharing journeys, we start to identify that support for one another. And then as we continue to move forward, you know, now I get to share my story to motivate improvements around healthcare communication by sharing some really specific experiences that I had in my personal healthcare journey to really help to motivate improvement. And no matter what stage of, you know, sharing your experiences you are at, we welcome you to this community to, one, help you organize your experiences, help you identify a supportive community who will listen, and, you know, share their own experiences and new ideas. And then potentially get to a place where you're sharing your story to really have an impact on how care is delivered in LA County. So just wanted to share that because there will be lots of opportunities on June 13th to meet new people and share a little bit about yourself. But I always say, you know, share what's comfortable for you. And, you know, if you get questions that are out of your comfort range about your personal experience, it's okay to say, I'm not comfortable talking about that right now, and graciously move on. All right. So I'm going to stop. We have about 5 minutes left. And I would love to just take some questions and just want to know how we can help you fully participate in the Creating Connections for Equity event coming up on June 13th. And again, we'll share more information and follow up. And Kayana, I see your question. Will children be able to go to the event? I may pose this for Mike. This might be something that we can talk about. I'm not sure if Rancho has childcare or anything like that, but maybe it's something we could chat a little bit more about, unless you have thoughts right now, Mike.
Yeah, no, I think let's talk about it, Lindsay, and see if we can make some sort of special accommodations. I think we want to be inclusive of everyone. But let's huddle on
Yeah.
that one and see what kind of resources are available at Rancho and see if we could make that connection.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely get back to you, Kayana. So thank you for raising that question. And in the registration, we're also taking information about any other accessibility needs, dietary or transportation needs as well. And we're working with individuals to support people getting to the actual event at Rancho also. A great question. Any other questions about the event or anything covered today?
Lindsay, I'll just add, I think, folks from or representation, our DHS workforce member, our leaders that are going to be at the event, they're there for you, right? Our patients, they champion the voice of our patients, and we really want to try to make it as comfortable as possible. So please know that everyone there really champions your voice to share with us what we can do better, as well as share with us what we're doing well, right? I think ultimately it's through these conversations that we learn and we adjust, and then we continue doing the work and the services we provide for our community a little bit better. So please know again that we're all there to support you and champion your voice.
100%, yes. Thank you, Mike, for that reassurance too. Yes, Maria, I see your hand up.
Sí, disculpen, tengo buenos
Yes,
días a todos.
I'm sorry. We're being late. I apologize. I do have a question. Is it going to be, I couldn't hear her correctly. It sounded like she said, is it going to be similar to the event I participated in? Give me a moment and I'll ask her if that's what she asked, because I couldn't hear her.
Sí, que sí es parecido este evento al que yo participé antes.
I would like to know. Okay, Mike knows the event I participated in, so I'm just asking all of you, and maybe Mike, if this is going to be the same type of event or similar?
Yes, no, thank you, Maria. It's going to be a similar event. In the event that Maria helped us with us last year, she was a keynote speaker at our leadership reunion event. Here, this event, we're really looking to engage more of our patient family advisory community. So you will see more of our patient family advisors at this event than at that event. But very similar in terms of conversation and really kind of insight seeking. So.
Yeah, great question.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Gracias.
Great. Well, I know we're just at about 2 minutes left. Good questions, everyone. Thank you. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us, learn more about the event and how you can really engage with Big Impact. We hope to see you there. Again, I will go back to the slide with the information. Sorry. Just as another reminder, this is the Creating Connections for Equity event on June 13th from 10 a.m. to 2:30 at the Rancho Los Amigos Rehabilitation Center. I will follow up with the flyer that has a link to register for the event, as well as the address and lots of other information on there. So I'll follow up with that information. Please reach out if you have any questions. I'm going to skip ahead, but not give you a headache while I do. There we go. Yeah, so please reach out with any questions that you have about this event coming up or anything else. My email is lindsay@pfccpartners.com, but you'll receive a follow-up email from me most likely tomorrow with, again, more information about the event, link to register. Please feel free to respond to that with any questions that you might have. If we don't see you on June 13th, we hope to see you on our next community conversation on June 18th. And thank you all again so much for being here with us today. I truly appreciate you just sharing your experiences, your thoughts, your questions with us. This was really great. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.